Hey, good morning, guys. This is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, and it is November 7th, Tuesday, 2017. I just wanted to show you all this morning. I'm going to make a quick video. I use these. I had two sets of rechargeable batteries, just four, and I use them, to run my CD player, to play Dave's CD at night when I'm sleeping. And as you can see, these two sets, there was only one set that my attackers had totally just disabled. They shoot directed energy weapons at the batteries and burn them out, so that they can no longer recharge. You see the two sets, the red lights blinking like that. It should look like that. It should look either like a red solid light, and then it turns into a green solid light. So they burn out two sets, and the batteries, to get the charger and the batteries, is about $20. So they shoot directed energy weapons at electronics to disable them. I'm not sure if they're doing it so I can't listen to Dave's CD, or it's just part of the hyper game theory, to just mess something up that I'm using. But I just wanted to show you all this, because I can usually they'll mess up, they'll heat up the batteries, and I can plug them in again. Watch. See, the light should be just red like that. That's how it should be until it turns solid green. And as you'll see, these batteries have been cooked. The batteries are cooked, so they'll no longer recharge. So they can do that with a lot of electronics, with the directed energy, just burn them out. They do it to my electronic cigarette. They'll heat it up so that it basically burns my throat, when I'm smoking it. So I have to disconnect the electronic cigarette to put it down so they don't heat it up. And then, when I want to smoke it, put it back together. So I just wanted to show you all this. I'm not doing too good this morning. They hit me pretty hard last night, and like my whole body, I guess to explain the kind of pain I'm in, it's like an artificial, electronically induced fibromyalgia just throughout my upper spine, and my whole body. And it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I walked out. I went outside to walk Pepper, and I just see everybody. They're going to their jobs and stuff. They're going to their jobs at the college or wherever with their new cars, and not everybody's a gang stalker, so a lot of them have no idea, what's going on. But it's really depressing to see that people go about, they have clean, simple lives, and they don't know about any of this. And I'm basically like, walking my dog and trying to make my legs move because I've been tortured so badly in my sleep. It's a really depressing thing for that to happen every morning. People, taking care of their families, and they have, their regular lives, and they don't know anything about this, a lot of them. Some of them are gang stalkers, and they do think they're like fighting terrorism or something like that, and then they'll patrol people being murdered. But the majority of people, around where I live, and I think around where everybody else lives, they're just ignorant of what's happening in the country. It hurts really bad because I want a regular life. I don't want to be doing this. I love you guys. I love all the targeted individuals that I've met. And now that it's happened, and we are in these groups, I wouldn't, I guess I would change it. I would have us be friends without having to go through all this torture and death. But it's definitely depressing and hard to take, because as a targeted individual, if y'all are targeted individuals out there, then that we're innocent. We haven't done any crimes. We're not dangerous. We're just being murdered. just murdered slowly, experimented on with directed energy weapon systems. Oh gosh, I'm having another hard day. But I will continue to make these videos. I don't know, I was kind of thinking about last night. I got my phone plugged in, if you can see, because they're cooking the phone right now. Right when I start making the video, the phone starts heating up because they want to run down the battery, so I have to plug it in to charge it, to keep it constantly charged while I make the video. But what else did I want to say? Yeah, I was thinking about it last night, and I don't know, guys. I'm going to go as long as I can, and this will definitely be a November video marathon, no matter what. But I might pull back from doing a video every day, you know, to really respect kind of the content I'm putting out. And there are some days where I'm being, you know, tortured so badly I can just barely even talk. You know, I can barely put a thought together. So I don't know yet. Tell me what y'all think, guys. I'm going to try and kind of carry it out, but I'll definitely be making, you know, this month, and these are my, you know, Q-Wave Defenders. They were in the fire at my house. Apparently they can't get to those. And I've got about 20 of those. I think they work on some level, but not, you know, not good enough for, I think they're $500 a piece. I bought those when I had a job, you know, when I was able to kind of experiment with defenses. Now I'm having trouble just scraping money together to get food every month and pay my bills. I don't, you know, I can save up maybe like $50 a month, you know, for defenses, for new stuff, but they've kind of got me down over years and years. You know, they've whittled me down to a point where it's like my parents don't let me borrow any money for defenses or things that have to do with my targeting. And I don't have any extra money saved up to spend to, you know, try and experiment with anything. So I have to kind of scrape what I do have together. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of just what I wanted to show y'all this morning. Kind of like both sides, my jaw and my head are just burning. This torture is significant. It's not a joke. It's not something like little zaps to the body or whatever. I mean, they are entraining the brain, you know, with the high-pitched sound, with energy, with a stream of energy going to the head and getting to the brain to send signals to targets, to survivors of this crime's nervous system. So it's a very significant crime. It's a very significant torture and murder all the time. It's not something to be laughed at. You know, it's not something that's like, oh, well, it's just, you know, you're just experiencing some harassment. You know, I think of the term electronic harassment, and it doesn't even get close to what is done to us. You know, what is done to us remotely and with ground weapons, and with illegal, non-consensual microchips put in the body. You know, they don't have to put chips in the body because, you know, there's so many nanoparticulates and toxins within chemtrails, and they put them in your environment, in your food. You know, your attackers will get people to break into your house, put toxins in your food, or, you know, they'll put toxins on the hood of your car, and when the hood of your car heats up, those toxins will stream through your air conditioning. That's a main method they use on me. And you can, I'll show the hood of my car in one of the later videos, and it's all torn up. There are just holes in it because they're putting some kind of chemical or toxin on the hood of the car. Then when the hood of the car heats up, it goes through the air conditioning vents, and goes to the person experiencing this, and toxins. You breathe in toxins to turn you basically into a dirty circuit board. You become more conducive to the electromagnetic frequencies that are shot at you. So they use a lot of different toxins and poisons with nanoparticulates in them. But they still do, they still do have redundant systems, and that's a word that I use a lot in targeting. It's like they don't have to have a system of microchips in you, or a system of chips. I think some of them are probably nanochips. They're probably like as small as a grain of rice, and doctors are, some doctors participate not knowing that the people they're putting them in will be tortured. They think that it's maybe just a government program to GPS certain people, or to see where they're going, to track people, just a tracking program or something like that. Who knows what they're told, but certain doctors do participate. And then these chips are used as a redundant system in case you get away from everything else. You clean all the toxins off your body, and then they can go to that redundant system, which they've done to me a couple of times, because I do believe I do have an implant, on my left side somewhere, like in the jaw, near the vagus nerve that runs through the jaw, in the TMJ joint, or in a tooth over there. But I didn't want to be long-winded this morning, guys, because I'm not feeling too good. But I just wanted to show you all this. I mean, those 4 batteries are dead. Like, I'm not going to be able to recharge them anymore. And I mean, it's some pretty good proof. Because I mean, one set of batteries, whatever, it goes dead, and you can't recharge the batteries. 2 of them, come on, let's look at this. Let's look at this and see that something is happening. That's something I also wanted to talk about. I am going to go through some articles of the Cuban embassy attack, and there are 21 State Department workers, complaining about what targeted individuals complain about worldwide. And even though everybody, the medical industry, and I think the agencies kind of knew better. They kind of knew what was going on, because they know that this technology is being used. I don't think, maybe they didn't know exactly who was doing it, but they knew kind of the technology that was being used on these State Department workers. But it's like they come with complaints, and their complaints aren't, they're not thrown into a mental institution. Doctors check them out, see that there are concussive effects from this, see that their hearing's been damaged, see these physical effects that cannot be denied from the torture. And these State Department workers got help. They got medical help, and people are looking into what's happening. And there's a whole lot of, the Cuban government has responded, saying that the U.S. is lying about it all. The United States is, saying that it's sonic weapons. So I'm going to go through some of those articles, but I just find it infuriating that worldwide people in their own countries are complaining of the same symptoms. A lot of the things that I experienced, the high-pitched ringing sound in my ears, headaches that are concussive in quality, and it goes a lot deeper than that. When you're targeted for more than a year, they start to do other things. They start to mess with your nervous system and your spine, with the frequencies they're sending to you, with microwave frequencies. But I find it infuriating that, those 21, it's great that happened, so it kind of opens up, what's going on with us, and it gives us a better avenue to talk to people about this. But it's infuriating how, I guess because they were a specific set of people, they were listened to. Nobody said those 21 people, were experiencing a mass hallucination or mass delusions. Their complaints were taken very seriously, and I think it's time that ours are too. All right, guys, I'm getting to 15 minutes. I am going to cut it short today, but I will be back tomorrow. Maybe to go over some more documentation of these weapons and what they can do to people. The November video marathon carries on. God is on our side, guys. This information is coming out in big ways. We just got to stick with it. Stick with it and keep fighting. I love you guys. God bless, and I will see you tomorrow.